Hello everyone, this is Ethan Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Heroes. Here we are at the end of this season of Summer Duels R, and we ended up, like usual, okay. Didn't finish too well, or didn't finish terribly, so that's good. And this team is actually our final team that we ended up using a bonus unit, so we could get the final, I guess, what is it, life? I don't remember what it's called anymore. But yeah, after we lost our first 3 matches without a bonus unit, then we had to make a team with a bonus unit. So originally we were using Legendary Nana instead of Regan, and Legendary Julia instead of Legendary Alm. I just wanted to try out Legendary Julia after the remix, so I was like, why not? And you might notice we were absolutely goofballing. Because we use Effulgence as our captain skill here. Realistically, by a mile, it would have been much better for us to go for a droid captain, but I just wanted to meme because we finally have a far save unit in Ascended Fjorm, so I wanted to try her out in Summoner Duels R. So let's get into our replays and see how things went down. But yeah, pretty much we're just memeing with this team. Duocrom basically does absolutely nothing but charge up our allies' specials, and that's about it. I was trying to see if it was feasible to get Legendary Julia a max charged AoE by turn 2. The theory behind it didn't look very good on paper even, so I decided not to do that, but honestly the AoE would have been pretty good. Our opponent just straight up surrenders turn 1, so I can't even show you their team here. I don't even know what their team was either. All I see is the duo Hinoka, so not entirely sure why. Maybe the Duocrom, maybe Ascended. I have no idea. And the reason why a droid captain would have been much better is even though some of our units are super slow, the main thing to note is of course Asker's bonus, and we all know that casually giving allies resonant shields is definitely balanced. Of course he doesn't give it to all allies, but it's basically most allies, since most units are not original characters from Fire Emblem Heroes. So here we're up against an opposing Legendary Tiki, and the thing about Legendary Julia is that she now has a guaranteed follow-up attack when after her refine here, but against Hardy Fighter that's not a thing. So units like Brave Hector, for example, who prevent follow-up attacks as well, or Ascended Athene or whatnot, Legendary Julia still can't double them without something like a droid captain. If we had a droid captain, then we would be able to double through Brave Hectors and whatnot, because most of the time we're going to be outspeeding. But typically that's what we do here, is most of the time what we do for shenanigans. Here they just let us attack their Legendary Tiki for free, so why wouldn't we take that? And the thing is, Legendary Julia now has closed counter against dragons, so I guess you can call that close war, I guess. So they can't really do much there since Ash could not attack forest tiles. So they decided to reposition here, but Legendary Nana just hits like a truck. We don't have techs against her, so that's just a rip. Another thing that I did to meme was I didn't even see what map we were playing on this season. So I literally just made a team, and then I just stuck with that team. From a gameplay perspective, probably should have changed out Legendary Nana, because most of the time, unless the enemy's coming towards us to be offensive, in which case we're probably losing in most of those instances, she's not really going to do much. He's going to get outranged every time. And we can't, even though we have a far save unit, we can't overextend and, for example, have, say, Legendary Nana out really far out in far save range because, of course, the enemy tends to also have melee units as well. In this case, they have legendary sell-offs, so that's not great for us. We're basically biding our time, trying to advance carefully, and essentially bait them into doing things that they probably shouldn't be doing.
Nice start.
Which is exactly what they do here. They end up popping their duo skills super late, which I feel like is incorrect. If you're gonna pop Duo Dagger's duo skill, you have to do it early in the turn so you can make the most out of it. But here, they go in for multiple attacks here. And, well, the thing is, we pick up the kill with our duo Crom. So we get the captain points. And now they are at just a massive disadvantage. Definitely not played correctly here. At this point, we auto-win unless we throw, because they have to be offensive against us, and I've already did my daily damage calcs. Duo Thor is nowhere near close to 1 rank KO. Legendary Julia, it's not even close. So ripperonis. Keeping track of your actions is definitely super important, though, because I definitely still throw matches in some of your duels by forgetting how many actions are left. This team here is a prime example of why just having a reasonable far save unit is good enough for Summoner Duels are, because here, their entire range squad is walled by Ascended Fiorm. Even if Yuri had his AoE up, he can't get into a position where he can actually get the AoE off on AoE damage off on Ascended Fiorm unless he's completely overextended. Here I decide to give them the captain skill points because we have the lead already, so I figured might as well give that exchange and essentially simplify the match considerably. Since we still have Ascended Fiorm, we can pretty much just greed, and there, no matter who they dance, Legendary Julia was killing, so they were going to lose regardless. And once again, we have another Yuri squad, and of course the Great Common Shenanigans. So on paper, this is alright. The problem is this team is literally being hard carried by Yuri. That's it. So the fact that he has lethality pre-charge is nice and all, but since they have no way to unproc Ice Mirror, they actually do have to one-shot through Ice Mirror, which is non-trivial with lethality. So they decided to pop the duo skill here. We're essentially just burning turns, since they already gave us capture zone points. We can just sit around and let them come to us. We just have to make sure we're not throwing units away for free, because that would definitely not help our case. And so we're just inviting trades, but of course they're not going for it because they're huge. Even if they could pick up those kills, which they can't here, they're just not in a good spot, so. Of course, our dual comm is minus attacks, so that was definitely not great. He missed the kill there, for example. But of course, if we do eventually plus 10 him, that won't be an issue down the line. It's just for now we get to suffer. But Duo Dagger gets walled by Ascended Fiorm, so nothing they can do here. But yeah, in those kind of matchups, if we didn't have Ascended Fiorm, we would be in absolute trouble. There's nothing we can do to stay aggressive towards them while still being defensive, which is what Far Save lets you do. A Far Save unit doesn't even technically need to be able to survive anything. The whole point is that the enemy has to use an action to take out the Far Save unit instead of one of your nukes, for example. That's the main value that was got out of Ascended Fiorm this week, but for her being able to actually survive one round from an enemy unit and threaten kills is definitely a bonus. But here they decide to leave Asker in range for Legendary Nana to nuke, so we of course, we go for the auto nuke there. Because I already, of course, did our daily damage calc. So Ascended Beyond Walls, Duo Corin, and Duo Nina super easily. In fact, I forgot to mention this meme. I didn't even upgrade Deflect Magic Seal. The heck out of this season of Summoner Duels, we really don't care. And again, already calced it out. Dual Corn cannot win that matchup, so they can just sit in camp. Again, we have the point advantage, so they can't do anything. We can just move forward for the memes, so they can't advance with their Brave Erica. That's all they can really do here. So pretty straightforward win again once they gave up Asker essentially for free, because our legendary Nana's value is much lower than Asker's value comparatively. If anything, besides, I guess, Legendary Julia, Legendary Nana is one of the only units that on our team that can actually take him out anyways, so that was a huge win for us. So here we are again up against another Asker, and this is a nasty team for us, and this is where a droid captain would have, us not memeing, would have actually probably resulted us in, spoilers, winning this match. On paper already, looking at this team, it's not hard to understand why we would have trouble. It doesn't matter that she's +1, what matters is that she's just a sitting potato with Aegis. And the point is, we can't double her because of Resonant Shields from Asker. And that is a death sentence for us. So here we just kind of do whatever, because I realized theoretically we just do not have a chance to actually win. So we just kind of do whatever, pick up a kill to lower the amount of glory we're going to lose, especially since we're not running a bonus unit. It's not going to end well for us. But yeah, not great for us. Of course, technically speaking, even if we could double whatchamacallit, Summer Edelgard, she'd still have Aegis up for the second attack as long as Regal Sunshade's actually procced for her to attack twice. So, which it's actually possible for us to have that not proc. In that instance, of course, Summer Edelgard is absolute toast. But yeah, the Resonant Shields definitely didn't help our cause.
Lean on me, always do.
We're just stalling for the heck of it, because it doesn't matter. And there you go, Ripperonis. But yeah, even if there wasn't Asker on this team, it still would be a difficult matchup, purely because we'd have to really rely on Legendary Nana to threaten revenge kills. If, say, their duo prompt nuke our Ascended Beyond, we'd have to have Legendary Nana in position to nuke. And then we'd have to survive, be able to keep exchanging. It wouldn't be a trivial win for us if we didn't have, even if we didn't have to deal with Resonant Shields. Here we are again, derping around, and this time, once again, we are up against pretty similar units. Pretty interesting to see Elamine around. We don't see her too much in duels, but we have Lara with his new Refine. Definitely interesting because, of course, Legendary Julia is effective. And here we have Summer Edelgard, but there's no support from Asker. So that definitely makes our life considerably easier. Here they actually just allow us to exchange for Heart, so of course we're going to do that. It's not like Legendary Nana needs to be here to actually do things. And so here we can just take out Summer Edelgard by, again, preventing her from actually attacking twice and proccing Ether. 10 out of 10. That's the one thing about Summer Edelgard, is that she still does have a proc condition for these things. And at this point, we can guarantee the win, because we can just take out Duo Thor. They can't do anything against this other Bjorn afterwards. And here we get hyper up tiered against opponent in tier 19, 5,999. Shenanigans. And so the problem here, I don't know why I'm showing our team, it doesn't matter. The problem here is that we have to contend with a bunch of noobs and legendary Seliph with hidden run on top of this Cano 2. So we're completely outranged, and so the only thing we can do is sit around, which is not good, because I actually miscount our actions here. I thought we had 2 actions left for some reason, so I was like, we can exchange, and then exchange. But of course, that's not a thing. I mean, wait, yeah. This is what I was intending to do here, but here, of course, we didn't get what I was expecting. I meant to have the kill already happen here. And in fact, our dual crop can't even kill Legendary Alm, so it's just an L for us at this point. They have way more actions than us, and we have no range, so we're just doomed. So all we can do, of course, is pick up kill to lower our glory loss, and that's about it. As you can see here, classic hidden run is effectively, in a lot of cases, becomes Canto 3, which is incredibly powerful melee calves. Let alone range calves, we just are gooseballing here to see if they will give us a kill, which
I'm excited.
They're not going to, so we're just going to lose there. Ripperoonies. What we really couldn't have done too much better theoretically, I think. It probably not we wouldn't lose as poorly as we did here, but there's just not really a way for us to push for an advantage. It's always going to be our opponent pushing for an advantage because they have higher range units like Brave Seliph. I don't know if I call him Legendary Seliph earlier. And Duo Thor, because she can of course go over the forest tiles. So I don't know. That one's this match is a pretty tricky one to win if it's theoretically possible. And here we're up against Duo Dagger, and again, the main problem with Duo Dagger is not herself as a unit in terms of combat. She definitely can nuke some stuff. That's not, without a doubt, she can do that. Especially with folks like this person who are using White Cat Bow on her. She can actually attack more than once without getting countered, which is kind of nice. And she has a pretty reasonable attack set. But the problem for us here is we have to deal with this bar save Ascended of Thune. And again, we don't have a droid captain here. So there's no way in heck we can ever double Ascended of Thune. If we could, then we could one round KO her. And then we might be in business, but not really. So here we are just setting up our units here to do absolutely nothing because we cannot touch Ascended of Thune to one round KO her. We either get our units KO'd. And the thing is, she's not even running distant counters, so it's not even a matter of KOing, like, for example, Dual Crown can't do any damage to her. Legendary Julia can do damage, but of course, against Hardy Fighter Aegis, she can only attack once, and there's too much damage reduction there, so we're just doomed at this point from the get-go. There's nothing we can do. We get completely walled by Ascended of Thune, so there's nothing we can do there. And we're just running close salvo advantage on this dual because we can. Realistically, a lull or something would have been better for combat purposes, but it wouldn't have changed very much. It would have changed a couple of matchups where you would win instead of lose, but that wouldn't have changed the outcome of those matches anyways, so we're just derping around, seeing if he's going to give us any chance to get another kill to lower our glory loss. Because again, no, we're not running a bonus unit, so that's the thing. And yeah, we can't do anything, so it's just going to be GG. Most players will not just give us a free kill even if they would win. There you can see we're just doing 4 damage. Minus attack out of 10, but even if we had more attack, it still wouldn't have mattered because attack defense unity pretty strong there with grand strategy as well. So of course at that point we're out of our 3 normal losses that we could take, and so we need to make our bonus unit team. I decided Legendary Julia. If we're up against any reasonable unit here, we're not gonna have a good time. Turns out, unfortunately for us, that Legendary Julia probably would have been better in this particular matchup, but not really. There's a lot of nuances to worry about here. The main problem again is this team has Asker, and so Resonant Shield is just too good. That's literally all that is to this team. And of course there is Ymir for the miracle meme. So that's what really that's the real kicker. We can one-shot their duo Erica, for example, but we can't one-shot her when Ymir is next to her, unless we have Greenfield feud or something silly. So that means we have to attack her more than once. But we can't do that because of Resonant Shields, and also because of what you said. Legendary Alm, of course, has no follow-up, so he ignores the Resonant Shield. Problem is that he can't actually double. Feels bad, man. So if we were running our low speed defense, then we definitely would have been better off in terms of competing for speed, but then we wouldn't be able to double because of Resonant Shields. Lose-lose situation all day long. And here, again, Resonant Shields, we can't double anything, we can't one-shot anything. Can't even one-shot Ymir till now. Well, we can't one-shot Ymir, well, we can one-shot Taylor, so. Because, of course, she is a unit from Fire Emblem Heroes, so she doesn't actually get the Resonant Shields. So, but at that point, we're already completely lost. There's nothing we can do.
Decided.
So it feels bad, man. Here we misplay. There really wasn't anything we could do there, but since Ymir was gone, I was trying to pick up a kill with Legendary Alm, but I forgot that Duo Erica had attack speed 04, so Strange teleported in for the kill. Unfortunate, but wouldn't have changed much anyways. We would have only lost. We would have only saved a little bit of glory. It's not too big of a deal. It's not like it would have taken us out of the old tier or whatever. Not that the difference between tier wars is that big anyways. And with that, with 3 straight losses, we end our season. So overall, I would definitely say having Ascended Fion was probably better in most of these matchups rather than not having her, but she really was a dead slot against those teams where they just had so many nukers, because of course, again, the whole point of her being there is just to waste an enemy's action. But we don't have enough, we couldn't get enough nukes in the front line to actually keep exchanging units, so that's where we end up losing in a couple of matches. And of course we still don't have Kanto control, so that's a huge problem for some other specific teams. But overall, I definitely think we did alright given our meme circumstances. We'll see if this is top 1k. Probably is, but you never know. A bunch of people do wait till towards the end of the season to run their summoner duels when all the super strong players climb up to max glory, and it's quite unlikely for you to actually get matched up with them. It can make things easier to climb, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're just keep leveling, trying stuff out in duels. Don't know what to think about the next season of Summer Duels are. I don't know what a good team would be. I guess maybe we could actually try using a Detroit captain, seeing how that goes, but then things would get a bit complicated with who should be the captain kind of deal. And that's not an easy question to answer. But Anyways, until next time, it's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. As always, this is Ether Dragon, and hope to see you all next time. Bye.